Hi, good to see you, and thanks for showing up. And I'll deliver a presentation on behalf of one of my colleagues, Sander, who has been working a lot on developing GeoCat Bridge over the last years. And this is really about facilitating publishing geospatial information and metadata. So overview, what's GeoCat Bridge? To start off with, a bit about GeoCat Bridge for ArcGIS Pro, and also Bridge for QGIS. Then a bit about the Python library bridge style that is underpinning QGIS, and upcoming search functionality, and a bit of information about that. Bear with me, he couldn't make it to the conference, so I'll deliver on his behalf, but I may sometimes miss something. So what is Bridge? It's a desktop plugin for ArcGIS Pro or for QGIS. It converts cartographic symbology into SLD or map files or MapLibre formats, and it publishes data layers as maps on GeoServer, and did do a good job on MapServer. I think in QGIS it still does. On ArcGIS Pro, we've not implemented that. We had it on ArcMap to also publish to MapServer. But in our own technology stack, we are using a lot of GeoServer, where Jody is leading the project, and in GeoNetwork for the catalog. So MapServer is not our key focus from a commercial point of view. It then publishes metadata to the catalog, and it establishes the crosslinks between the metadata records and the data services that you created. So it makes sure that your map services are at that point findable through the metadata in the catalog, and you can interact with those. So an example publication process. You have your map layers that are staged, that are suitable for publication in your desktop GIS. And then the layer data is exported in the form of GeoPackage or GeoTIFF, depending on the type of information, or is referenced. If you use a PostGIS database, the data would just stay in the database, and the layers would be configured on top of it. Then the layer symbology is converted into SLD, which is the style layer descriptor open format from the OGC, Open Geospatial Consortium. It's an XML format, and is very suitable to be used by, for instance, GeoServer, but also MapServer can use SLD as a symbology format. Then it's published, pushed to GeoServer. This can be done in different ways. It can push the data directly into a PostGIS database that GeoServer has access to, or to a file system, or, as I mentioned, just reference to the data. It will configure the map service, and then the service URLs will be collected from GeoServer, and they will be embedded in the metadata record that is created, or the metadata that you're already maintaining in your QGIS or ArcGIS metadata editors. Then the metadata is updated with those URLs, and they are pushed to the catalog. And from that moment, and the service layers themselves in GeoServer will also have a link back to the metadata record. So in the capabilities documents, you'll see the URL to the metadata record. So it simplifies a lot of the manual steps that you would often do to publish data. What does it look like? So we had a bridge for ArcMap for quite a long time, starting in 2009. It actually started even earlier with a small extension on ArcMap that you could use to create map server files at that point. Then in 2024, we've started with having an ArcGIS Pro version. That's this. It moved from modal dialogues that pop up on your desktop to dockable panels. And so what you have now is a ribbon at the top where you can select what you want to do. You can configure your connections to your GeoServer, GeoNetwork, or to our SaaS platform if you wish. And then you can publish the data, the maps. You can publish all your layers at once. You can also only update symbology, for instance, or only publish metadata records. So you have a wide variety of ways of pushing that information to the server. So it's really bridging from the desktop to a server environment where you can make it available to others. It will be a dockable panel on the right where you will see the different layers that you have and the different group layers you have. And you can then also select one of those layers to drag them into your ArcGIS project. It does really strong conversion of symbology. We've been testing this with Ministry of Infrastructure, some other partners, so it does a lot of different types of symbology conversions. So also, this is a bit more on that doc. So the data spaces doc, you can browse the content in your particular server, and you can have multiple servers configured. So you could select which server you want to get data from, add those services directly on your map, and download in different data formats, and publish, as we said, layers as WMS, WFS, OGC API services, all the different things that GeoServer offers, and metadata to the catalog, and make that available through catalog service for the web protocol or OGC API Records protocols. So it makes it very interoperable data. There's also a style preview in the tool where you can preview the SLD that is created. It will show you what is incompatible. So it will give you warnings if you have trouble in your data layers or in your symbology. And you could actually save that SLD to disk. So if you wanted to use it in another map server, you could use the SLD file itself to create the symbology. Plans that we have for the coming year are to publish using drag and drop and the context menu. So really, you have your local data, drag it onto the server, and it will do the whole process of publishing without any panel in between. Single sign-on, so that it works in an environment where you can authenticate according to your own organization's authentication schemes, but also to make sure that if you connect to a GeoCat Live instance, you would be automatically authenticated against GeoNetwork and GeoServer in the back, and possibly also to PostGIS. There's a batch export of converted style layers, so you could quickly have SLDs exported, and style conversion enhancements will always be there. Then a bigger one is the data catalog search, where you could actually configure multiple catalogs that you may have locally, or maybe you have at the national level or from another agency, and make sure that you can browse those and also get your data layers directly into your desktop GIS. The bridge for QGIS, we take very much the same approach. It's in the QGIS plugin repo, so you can install it. Code is on GitHub. We have an old workflow that we are upgrading to have a very similar experience as in ArcGIS Pro. There's map server support, as I said, and there's another style conversion engine that we'll touch up later. It has some additional features. One is that you could use it in the processing toolbox, so you could actually automate publishing layers to GeoServer or metadata to GeoNetwork in your processing toolbox. And there's more style formats. So on the ArcGIS Pro, there's only the SLD, but here you'll see the MapServer, symbology, Mapbox symbology, GeoStyler, and there's a small warnings panel again for things that could go wrong. So what we want to do is make the user experience, the user interface user experience, very much similar to the ArcGIS Pro, so that people in agencies using our technology can have the same experience, whatever platform they use. Dockable panels, and instead of the modal dialogues, and then move configuration to the QGIS options panel. So have that kind of in the same way as QGIS does other things, and also have the publishing using drag and drop. Publish individual map layers and increase the responsiveness by making sure everything goes asynchronous. And we'll collaborate with Lutra Consulting on a number of those things. And again, also add the data catalog search to the plugin. So under the hood, for QGIS, we have a library called Bridge Style. It converts QGIS symbology, QML, using GeoStyler and then to SLD, MapFile, MapLibre. It's a separate library in Python. It's used by other projects. Apparently it was used by QGIS to web. I don't know the internals of that, if they moved away or I don't know, and I asked Sander, but he didn't have an immediate response. There's also a quick web viewer that uses the same library layer to SLD conversion utility. Rana, which is I think a platform that creates really nice maps for the web, and so it's available on GitHub, and you can contribute to that. It's actually available as a Python package since this year. So you can find it on PyP, and you can install it and then use it in your Python scripts, programs. So the catalog search, this is a preview of what it would look like. You would be able to search any type of catalog as long as they support OGC API Records, CSW, probably Stack could be one of those that we would also browse through. You have advanced filters, what we call facets. So there would be, if you would hit the filter button, it would expand and it would show you a different type of search criteria, including how many records could you find. So it could be how many WMSs are there, but it could also be, is this about forestry or fisheries, whatever. And then search using free text and filters, and then show the results quickly in your desktop, and then add that to the map or download the data locally. And that could be using feature services, or it could be things like WMS services, portrayal services. So that's expected for ArcGIS Pro in the first quarter of 26. Once we have that ready, we'll work on making it available in the QGIS Bridge as well. Thanks. Questions? I hope to answer.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions? I have a question. I was just looking up the style conversion tool that you talked about. It looks really interesting. And I noticed that there are kind of some styles that support conversion to other styles, but it's not kind of like, I guess, a full matrix of being able to convert from all the different types to other types. Is that something that would be in scope for that project, or not so important?
To be honest, I personally don't know. This is really on Sander's plate. What I want him to do usually is make sure all the symbology that we run into to be able to convert those, at least for GeoServer, because that's what our main product line is about. But then there's always people contributing some additional style conversions, and that's where the project is definitely open for contributions. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just a remark here on the Git repository. We have a conversion matrix between different styles and what's supported and not supported. So.
Yeah, I was actually I just saw it and I was like, oh, that's cool. But, okay. Yeah, cool. Thank you.
But it is pretty elaborate.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's not about the question, it's a comment. So we come from RMIT University in Australia. We're actually teaching open source GIS, and then we're using your tool. So we support your work and looking forward to the 2026 version. Thank you.
Cool, thank you. Are there any other comments or questions?
So one question we get is, why don't I just use the normal QGIS SLD export? And one of the things that QGIS GeoCat Bridge could do that the QGIS SLD does not, is we know about all of the functions that are available in GeoServer, so we can do a much better job of producing a style that directly knows about all the advanced capabilities in the GeoServer rendering engine that go a little bit beyond just the SLD standard. So this is very much takes advantage of all that the rendering engine has to offer.
Any other questions, discussions, suggestions? Good. If you have any feedback or suggestions, or you think, training material, documentation should be improved, you're most welcome to contribute. Yeah.
Please direct them to talk to your own GeoCat Bridge, because GeoCat Bridge is an excellent advocacy tool that really brings a lot of these open source projects and infrastructure into reach for organizations that might be a little bit more timid. So, send them our way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And we want their money.
Yeah, maybe while we still have a few minutes, that's basically what we do. So we provide SaaS services or on-prem services on GeoServer and GeoNetwork, combine them in one scalable environment. That's also what you may have seen in the previous presentation by George. So making sure that organizations can depend on the infrastructure, move away from proprietary solutions, if you wish, and have a supported environment that we also then invest back into developing GeoServer, GeoNetwork, Bridge. Bridge has completely been funded by GeoCat without external resources. So it's really to have utility to make those kind of things really easy to use and promote using GeoServer, QGIS, PostGIS, GeoNetwork. Yeah. Yeah.
Great, you combined all the talks. Good job.
Thanks.
Cool. Can we please thank Sharon again for his presentation?